How is everybody today? Is Jack on the ladder? Broadcast in progress. Yes, broadcast in progress. Should I get a little bit more light? Outside light. A little shady, eh? A little shady in here. You must be a shady guy, right? Must be a shady guy. So if you're a shady guy, why would that word come into the play of a shady guy? Does that mean it brings a cloud over you? There's something between you and the sun, because if the clouds were out, then you wouldn't need the extra shade. But because the clouds aren't out, you use the tree for a shade. I had a dream last night. I hate these dreams. I don't know why I had this dream, but I saw an article just popped up on my computer. It says, Mara, and I'm thinking, what, marijuana? And then it said, Mara Bitcoin. And then it said 4774. And I'm going, oh my God, Jesus Christ. I says, now it's approaching 51. So if it hits 51, Mara hits 47. So I take a look, and it's the business section. Mara stock in the stock market. And the other one says, oh my God, on the streets, it's a riot. And right next to Mara, I see a riot. So Mara goes to 47 and riot goes to 59 when Bitcoin goes to 51,4774. That was the whole numeric value of this. I mean, I had it written down even before I went to bed. And if we had, I'm just trying to remember if the guys, I gave out a video the other day saying the Geyser Tower is 5284. When it's 5184, 52 would be Earth. So every number tells something. At 52, actually, we get to 4774 when Jesus comes in. But Jesus is left from 51 to come into 52. But 52 is divided between the silver and the bronze. Two sides. You were in first. Batter up. Batter up. You're at the plate. You get walked. When the fourth batter comes up to get, okay, if the fourth batter is walked, batter number one comes in. Batter 1, 2, 3. Walks. The fourth batter, okay, scores RBI, batter 1. So batter 4 is known as cleanup. Now I lost my trend of thought of, wow, absolutely nobody's watching me at all. Usually there's one. In fact, the time of my video isn't even going. How is that possible? Is that possible? Something's wrong. Something's wrong. I'm going to get my phone and check to see if, oh no, I can just take the link and see if I'm actually copy. Correct. Checking to see if my link links to me playing. Spectateur stimulant lecture durée moyenne de 38. Okay, here it says on one of my screens. Wait a second. I'm coming in really late. What's going on here? Wow. When I put my hand up, my hand's up now. And I'm going to take down my hand right now. Wow. That's a long time. Okay. Back to the streaming. My clock isn't working. It's showing me that there are 2 spectators. I want to show you my screen right here. This is what I'm seeing. I'm not really sure if I can pull this down. Right. This is my screen that I'm watching. And it shows me 5 minutes. This is my screen, and it shows me 0 time. So something's not working. 3 lecture. Okay, so I'm gonna watch my video at the same time, but it's streaming like a few seconds behind, 3-4 seconds behind. So I don't see myself up here. It doesn't show me any comments. I'd like to just see one just for. Anyways, we were talking about the batters. So it takes 16 balls, okay, for 4 walks. It takes 9 strikes for 3 outs. What are we doing? We're doing all the calculations in the world to see why things were created. From where were they created? You take a bolt, you take a nut. One is a bolt, and one is a nut. A nut has a hole in the center for the bolt. We're reconstructing building of Earth from pieces and parts of everything else. And the numerics and the names of everything that is there, and the artwork that comes from each and every single letter, and the sound of each and every letter in multiple languages. And obviously, if we overlap a language, we'll end up with gray. Black and white. What is black and white? You know, white is such a... I took out all the white in here, and when I use white, I love it because it blanks out all the other color, and then I can paint my yellow over the white. I can't paint yellow anywhere. I can see right through the yellow. So we get to a stop sign. It's pure. It's red. But when we get to a green light, it ain't pure no more. Green. Green has been infiltrated, okay, and created through the Son of the Christ. And through the energy of that. And I'm not telling you a word. I don't study this. I don't look it up. I don't need to. All I need to do is count. Count this word and this word and this word and this word. Christ is number 77. CHR, 1ST, first. And through that 77, we get the word 7 times 7. We now have a word green. 7 plus 7, we now have 14. And that will create the DNA, birth in the sun, spirit of 1776 of the half-life described here on this cube. See that 6? That's a half-life. The only way to give it its true value is to turn it this way. See, this point over here is now in the 2 position. This crossing angle, okay, of 4 and 6 is now in the crossing angle that will arrow into the original 1 and 3 section. See, the 1 section was now moved over to this. The line's going this way, and the line's going this way. Imagine you were cutting something, and all of it was lined up this way. So your blades would be cutting this way. Then you need a blade cutting this way. But what if you made it like this, and you kept chopping? It would just break apart. It would be a thin little line that would break apart because of the ondulé. So you slice it and it breaks apart. Anyways, we're going to get back to the Christ. We all know that sea anchor. CHR. Sea anchor. Sea anchor first. S and T comes together, the 19th and 20th letter. Very mysterious letters. Very, very mysterious. They create the ST. Okay. The ST will create the word red. The ST will create, as S and T is 39, you add on 6 because the T is the letter, it has an O in it. And because the T has an O in it as the 20th letter, add on 6 more. That becomes 26. Okay, so 26 and 19 is 45. Now we have the foxhole passage in the sun. And we have the sea archer through Christ. 77. 7 times 7 is that 49. And 47 is 94 reverse. because we have to add them up to 4. Maximum of 4, because after that, you're at the 5, you're in the middle, everything gets split apart. There's 2 things about the center. Is this. Here's the one, let's say, in the center that overlaps both sides. Or here's 2 different sides that create one center. And then you T-link them together. And then you T-link these together. I'm not really sure what it's supposed to turn into or if this is exactly the way it is, but these are the possibilities of what shapes, of what stories there are more in the shape than actual what we think we believe we know, other than it's, hey, it's a geometric. What geometric shape? What does this shape say? When does it start to repeat? Wow, I have really an increase here, right? So we had the bolt, and through the bolt, here's the nut, and here's the bolt. This bolt goes right through. Boom. It's a complete item. But in this item, there's a little pen. So you have an item that passes through another item, and then you have a pen, just like you have the wiring, and the wiring passes through the cables, and then all of a sudden you have electricity coming through it, and people are talking and sending their voice out with electricity. How things are passed and moved forward. We all started this whole thing out at the beginning with the tree and the shade. So if it's sunny outside, you'll need the tree for the shade. And now we say he's a shady guy. So what does that mean, that he's a shady guy compared to the sunlight that's in that sky that we need the tree to block? So he's blocking the true light. Is that the story? I don't know. Because if it isn't, or if it is, we're thousands and millions and billions of people around the planet. And whoever thinks about this question will have their own personal answer. When we throw it into a machine to come out, we'll see what the people think. But I don't have that machine created, and I'd like to create one that we can implement our thoughts and just through questions and taking the numbers out to see who that shady guy is. So pitcher comes up, throws 16 balls. All of a sudden, 1 run scores, 3 men on base, batters up. Someone's in the on-deck circle. He counts for who's next, but he's nobody right now. But he better not get in the way, because if the ball pops up in the foul zone, because that's where he is, in the foul zone, he has to move out of the way and let the players who are in the game. Otherwise, he's interfering. There's a whole building of this. You think it came from nothing? Everything is built from something that happened. An idea was created through how? How did you get that impact, that idea that became the greatest idea in the world that nobody else thought of? And because of your idea, I now have the capabilities, okay, or I always had the capabilities of taking what everybody else has done, put it into the Enigma machine, and let it come up with its own answer. Can't be my answer. Who am I? Do I have a diploma that says I'm right? Do I need a diploma? I don't want to be right about anything. I just want to be able to calculate the math you taught me. I just want to be able to see and dig in to the information that's out there that was created by everybody else. And all I'm doing is diagnosing. And I don't even know if my diagnosis is good at all, because everybody in the hundreds of billions and millions of people that are on this planet are actually can do the same thing I can, just with the way I do it. So we all do it the same way: multiply, add, subtract, in 3 different levels: level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, which completes your 10. But we don't need the 1 in our actuality, because 1 times itself is itself to start with. God is in everybody. Let's use the word God is in everybody. Christ is in everybody. Let's use that word. I am the beginning. I am the end. I am this. I am the head, and I am the point. And that's a completion. You don't want 2 points. You need a beginning and an end. What is the difference between a beginning and an end? Or what beginning am I? Who did I plug into? And at what end? I'm on 2 different sides here. Why do I need to hear on 2 different sides? What's going on in between here? I am the beginning, I am the end, because he is us. And how does he become us, or she? or it, because it's really an it, because shit. That's what it is. It's shit. Okay? Shit Christ. And I'm telling you this because it's an energy, spirit heaven, okay, internal transmission. It's within you. The seed that is planted or sowed into the ground comes up a fruit, the vegetable, something grows from the seed, and from that seed, boom, whatever it is, you have more seeds. So my question comes, if a cauliflower grows, where are the seeds of a cauliflower? Where are the seeds of our broccoli? If it's the beginning of the end, where are the seeds? I know if I have a butternut squash, I'm going to get seeds in the squash, an apple, some oranges. So where do the seeds come from? So we have to differentiate our fruits and our vegetables to see where they come from, to micro-diagnose everything, to put it all back, but to put it into this machine, for this machine to tell us the answer, because it's so much quicker than us thinking. Even if the billions and millions and billions of people are the ones that put this all together, because we now have all the capabilities, because we're now connected to this one system that one day somebody, maybe just me or everybody else, will have, just like one of these in your home. And you'll punch in what somebody says and you'll see the real story of the basic of the situation. You can never have the precision until man-made makes his own decision, right? Now, the beginning and the end can also be a rope. I am the beginning and the end as I am last and first. Imagine the pinball. Do you ever see the way the pinball is? You pull the ball, poof, the ball goes up and inside of here, and it just keeps going around and around and around, but it can never go back down to this over here. But there's a little hole in the center that brings it back to the beginning to make it the beginning and the end. Secondly, I'm just going over these realms, anyways, I'm just going over this situation to understand what it means, beginning and end. So if this is the end and this is the beginning, if they were one rope, is it possible to make something round? You'd have to cut it. You'd have to cut out something to keep it round, because everything is linear. No, nothing is actually, is anything really built round? I'm just, except a drop of oil, a drop of water, but it's tons of molecules that came to come together. Or the smallest really molecule, it's round, a dot, it's round. It's all one, make a dot. Look, it's round. It's at the end of the pen. I dipped it if I dopped it off. So anyways, let's go back to the end. So if this is the end of the rope and this is the beginning of the rope and it comes all the way back and it attaches together, I am the beginning, I am the end. And over and over and over it goes, inside of here and out here. Except in between here, you're processing me, the beginning of the end. And your mind is in a cloud with my mind. It's just further processed through the capabilities that you have to access that information. And you were born with the seed onto the planet. How can you not be a piece of everything? That if all the food you eat, your mother ate. In fact, you weren't even here. You were an eggy and a sperm. And now look at you looking at me. That's who we were. So if we want, we're going to have to go back to egg equaling 577. The moon of Christ, creation of the energy, alpha, beta, creation of creation. Where do I get all these numbers? How come? Well, what I do is I go 7 times 5. Here, I'm going to show you. 7 times 5, 35. Electric company, 11 craps. That's a game. I take things from games. You want to go to the casino? Let's look at all the games. Let's look at their possibilities of meaning. In certain Keno games, they only play up to 70 in the US. But here in Canada, that I know at the Casino de Montreal, according to the internet information, says that our Keno goes up to 80. Highway 70 passes, if I remember, from Kansas City down to Texas, where the whirling winds and tornadoes turn round and round until you cross over Highway 35, crossing the cross and the hand of God, total 105. 7 times 15, the gateway to Mars. 7G 15, 0. That's where my go Christ comes in. 7 and 0, 15. How did I get this? Equals to 105 and 22 equals 127. It's just for me. So go from Kansas City. When you bar it, when you put a bar through something, okay, pending if you put a person on this side of Jesus and you put a person on this side of the Jesus, Jesus can no longer turn. One point, you can flip it around like a pan, like a fan. But when you have two, one on each side, you can no longer flip because one is stopping the other from the center pole of moving. Center pole. So should we get back to where were we right now? We did Christ, we did green. And what do we have when we get to green? Oh my God. It's yellow and you. Yellow and blue. You're feeling a little blue today? Imagine an earthling feeling a little blue. You from Mars? You feeling a little green, a little nauseous today? Ooh, you're red in the face. Are you harping on something? Are you aggravated? Are you cold? Is something wrong? Your blood pressure seems to be high because this is the reaction of your body. So that, my friend, is a telling story. Your body has telling stories. So yellow and blue creates green. Yellow is number 29. Actually, it's 92. And blue is number 40. So blue is very special because it's a number that really screws me up. Because 0 becomes 6, it becomes 46, which becomes XX. Must be this part of the spirit. Because you know when you have XX in a bottle, it means don't drink it. Granny's got a little bit of spirit inside of it. Granny's got some alcohol. Granny has what in that bottle that will stimulate you and cleanse you? But the spirit, XX. 6 times 4 equals the 24th letter X. Now you have 6 plus 4 equals the 10th, okay? The 10 Roman numeral X. Each one standing for JX. And I like to say 1 and 6, the cat, the half-life of JLX. And when you get 46, when you get 10, you end up with 16. The 4 plus 6, 10. You end up with 16. So 16 and 24 recreated equals to your 40. You have 6 times 4, 24. 6 plus 4, 10. 24 and 10 equals to 34. 30, okay, equals to 34. But there's a 0 here, brings it up to, add 6, 40. And because it's 40, add it to 46, you're back to the beginning. We start all over again. XX, bringing the spirit in full rotation through its numeric value and its colors, coming from green, which is now go. Go is 49, which is created by 7 and 7, Gigi, the 7th gate, where the egg is, or the moon, because number 57 is the moon and Christ, that power source. Now we say the egg, and we say 7 come 11, because in 7 come 11, or number 35, 7 times 5, 35, 11 craps. The only possibility to get this is with 6 and 5. That's your only possibility to get this. I'm trying to see if I'm still up here working. Yes, okay, it's working a little bit behind, but that's okay. I don't see any comments. Something is happening. I wish somebody would comment so I can understand, so I can see. So we had the 16 balls for 4 walks. Ball equals 24. Ball equals to 27 plus the S is 19 equals to that 46. So in for the S letter, you bring the spirit and the church and the half-life because the number can be flipped upside down. Yes, you got to do stuff different. And how do I know all this? You go into a casino again. Here's another thing in a casino. You play a slot machine and the digit comes all the way down. And if it lands on a certain image, a diamond, let's say, it'll go up. Or count the row on the top row if a diamond shows up at this. So things are interchanged and interplace if this and this happens. And the same thing is in the game of Baccarat. In the game of Baccarat, the minute you get to 10, all 10s are counted as 0. But in Pythagorean, it equals to 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. So how is that separation? Dash dot, dash dot, dash dot? Because we see everything on linear mostly, they're looking at it this way. So I'm just thinking I have to leave in a couple of minutes. So we talked about the bolt. We talked about something going through the center. We talked about green, which is created from yellow and blue. Yellow is created from number 14. And now when you create yellow from number 14 from Jesus, 7 plus 7, or let's put 27 together now, because 27 will now create 2 times 7, 14. And now the 14 comes with 2 plus 7 equals to that 9, 2305. So what happens is 2 times 7, 14, 2 plus 7, 9. 9 is your birth, also represents January, also represents if and rotation, because 0 will equal 6 will make it 69, the letters if. Okay, but that's on the first level. Okay, 6 and 9 first level, because the second level of 9, first position, second position, is R. If there's a third position, there is no third position in the letter R. Everything, let me just take a look. A, J, S. G, P, Y. H, H, Q, Z. After that, after I, there is no third level. There's only 2 levels with I, but A to H, there are 3 levels. Because the alphabet ends, unless we move the alphabet up a level or reverse the alphabet and start at number 26. See, if we reverse the alphabet, okay, we would start at number 8. If we start at 1. So the reverse alphabet is 8 or 1. And when you put these two together, all of a sudden, alpha, omega, the letter I and R are implicated because the 18th letter, which is the I, is the beginning and the end. 18. The 17 and 19, these numbers here, are separate from the other numbers from 1 through 20 because the French language tells us. And 20 is actually just telling us 2 tens. First level of 10, second level of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's just so many things equals to 10. And we talked about this 15 minutes ago. Now, we don't take the 1 because the 1 is like saying, here I am, duplicate me. I am the blueprints. Make me first. Test me out, and then make others like me, put me on the shelf for next time when you need the original. But don't never use me again. So you take 1 out. 1 exists inside 3. 2 exists inside 3, and 2 exists inside 4. So we really don't need 1 and 2. We just need 3. Actually, we need 3 inside 2 and 1 inside 4. Three inside 2, 1 inside 4. Not really sure what I'm supposed to be building here, but this is 4 and 1 comes together, 3 and 2 comes together, both creating number 55. 2, 3, 4 equals to 9. So when we look at this, we get our 19. And that's the numeric value to the spirit. Where does it come? Because 1 is already inside of 3. 3, 3, 3 are the pig's pregnancy. And there's just so many things. I don't have enough time to do it all. When we spoke before, we seeded the sow. We sowed the seed in the ground. Sow is a pig. Pig, ham, ham communication, ham radio, ham this, ham that, Abraham, all the things with the ham. So don't forget the pig. Let's not ever eat it. And pay attention to what you're eating, because we can never forget about the ham or the crustaceans that are out there, because it's something we should never forget. And it's in our religious beliefs for many around this world that they shouldn't be eating it. So what do you say about green eggs and ham? Sometimes you say Christ comes in with the seed. So the seed is that seed. It's a string. Is it the string? Do they attach together the string? Or does the bottom string go around to this string over here? Let me show you one more time. The pinball goes up over here. It goes into the game, and it never comes out, because once it comes around here, it's back onto this and then back into here. That's one of them. The other one is in between is a ball. The ball is not connected here, and the ball is not connected here. But once the ball's between the two, you have life, and your blood flows. That ball might be the interpreter, and it keeps spinning around between the beginning and the end. So I'm not first or last, but I'm that ball in between the first and last that connects the information that constantly is coming in your cloud. Your memory bank, your snow bank. You're cold today, you can't remember. Terminology and terms that we use to reflect on things. So we had the 16 balls, we had the 9 strikes, we now have pi. P and I, pi. We also have pi and phi, because inside 16 balls is phi, and inside the 3 outs is the pigs, because it's 3 strikes, the 3 batters to get 3 outs, and that's 9. So that's 25 total. Before either a run is scored, but before the run is scored, okay, you had 12 balls, and you're still up at the plate. You had 6 strikes. These are the situations that happen after you fill up the bases. You struck out 2 persons. The next person's coming to play, and there's a guy in the batter's box, or a woman. I'm sorry, or a woman. Could be anybody. So we went from the green to the Christ to the yellow and the blue that creates the colors. But now we want to make it a lighter green. So we add in a little white. Understanding what white is. White is number 65. 7 is number 65. The 11 craps. 6 and 5, because 1 is inside 4, creating the 5, or 3 is inside 2, which is beta creation, BC, before the Christ. To create it, now you have 5, 6, and you no longer need 3, 6, because 3, 6 is our creation coming in. That's part of how the woman creates a 6 times 6, 36, which is the original city that we used to pass through until they switched it to Highway 80, back to where we were talking about Keno in Canada, using 80 numbers instead of 70, which only runs halfway through America between Kansas City and Texas. Oil land, whirlwinds and oil land. So we have the 80, which is now communication, because all zeros equal 6. All zeros equal 6. 70 becomes 76 and tells you freedom 55 and a whole new story. And 80 equals 86, which is the division of the 7th gate. And that's here in Canada. Are we dividing what to the 7th gate? And where is that 7th gate if you have to go through Canada? So we have 80 here in Canada, makes 86. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 86. It's the house planet. P16, L12, A01, N14, E5, T20. And what I like about ET is that ET also creates 25, which is the 25th letter. I like that, putting that together. 28, 29, 39, 42, 48. And that's planet equals to a total of 68, and house equals to 68. And the house equals to 68 gives us the pleasure of that when you're playing the game of craps, you must bet 6 jetons, 6 coins on a number in order to get 7. So you get 1 and 1/6 coin. When you bet 6 coins, you get 7 coin. So you get 1 and 1/6 coin per coin, and you get, and that's on your 6 and your 8. On your 5 and your 9, if I reflect, it's 7 for 5. So you get 5 coins and 2 sevens, 2 fifths, 5 and 2 fifths. So for every 5 coins you bet, you get 5 back and an extra 2. I think 2 of 5 more, something like that. What is the calculation? 7 divided by 5 equals 1.4, and that's the sun. So 1.4 times 5 equals 7. That's absolutely beautiful. DNA of the sun. And 7 divided by 6 equals 1.1 666 times 6 equals 699999996. You get the passage, you get the birth from 66, which is the word freedom, which is the word woman, which is the word co-XLRU vid. Okay. There's also that you get 9999911, 911. Where is 911? What does it mean? There's a whole lot of things going on. Anyways, I got to go. I got other things to do. I really like the video I did. There's so much more to dive into here to unscramble the reality that's going on in these numbers, to where we pass through the bolt, to where 2 times 7 is when a big red sun, to where the egg is number 577, where Christ is 77, where the moon is 57, where Earth is part of 75, because that's 3/4, which is DC again. Putting the number this way, putting the number that way. If you multiply it, it creates the same star. Imagine I created a star this way, and then I created a star this way, and I shoved them in between. And one was turning this way, and one was anyways, next to each other. One is turning this way, the other is turning this way. It's like a gearing system. Gotta go, Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. I cannot see anybody out there. I know there's 2 spectaculars, 12 lectures, 7 minutes watching, and today is the 13th day, Saturday, the last day of the week, and it is the 3rd cube of the month. Thank you.